Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Business Talks. I am your host, Chawanne Burns. In today's episode, we're going to talk about Thornton Township. They had a rescheduled meeting. Tiffany tried to be slick, and she rescheduled the meeting from Wednesday, where she didn't show up or something like that. And she said they didn't have a quorum, and they rescheduled it to Friday at 1 o'clock. She thought people wasn't going to show up, but the room was packed. So we're going to go over a few of those highlights. We want to talk about Donald Trump today. We're going to talk about Flint and much more on today's episode of Business Talk. So you guys stay tuned. Something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad. Looks a little something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad. It was very exciting at Thornton Township meeting. You had several residents expressing their frustration over Tiffany Hinyard. She's trying to increase her salary. One of my followers, she did send me Thornton Township annual budget report. It does look like by 2028, the administrative salary is expected to increase by $2 million, which is pretty surprising to see just a budget increase by 25% over a 4-year period. That's a little bit odd. Anywho, so that's in a budget. And then they have some other line items that I will question. Anywho, it was pretty exciting. At one point in the meeting, Tiffany Hinyard, she is trying to, give her the people that like her. Let's say that the people that like her in her administration, she's giving them the opportunity to speak. At one particular point of the meeting, they were a director and they wanted to highlight what they had going on in their department, and she wouldn't allow them to speak, which I thought it was pretty odd. I don't know what department they were from, but she didn't want them to speak. Then another part of the meeting, they were voting on some items, and she convinced Carmen to change her vote. You think that will be illegal? She's not responsible for voting on the items. The trustees are responsible for voting on the items, but she convinced Carmen Carlisle to change her vote. She's a bully. Then the other part of the meeting, Robert Hunt was speaking, and he, I don't know if he fumbled his words or he wasn't moving fast enough. She told the man to go sit down. She told him to go sit down. So we're going to take a look at some of these videos. Shout out to Tony Joy. She actually sent me some of the highlights of them. If you don't know, follow Tony Joy. She is on YouTube. It's Toni Joy, Joi. And actually, she was interviewed by the news. Let me just share that with you first. You guys put in the chat, let me know where you're viewing from. Please put in the chat, let me know where you're viewing from. Let me screen. I got so many tabs open. I got so many tabs open. I don't know what's going on. Let's see who we got. Nurse Petty, good afternoon. It is good to see you, Nurse Petty. Please, thank you. Hit the like and subscribe button. She is so disrespectful. It's shameful. I absolutely agree with you. Alonzo Skins Nation, we love you here in DC, Miss Burns. Thank you for the DC love. Love you guys too. Joseph Roy from Boston, Kenya Brown, Charleston, South Carolina. Nurse Petty, of course, from Riverdale, Illinois. and we have Posh Petals from DC. And MB Burke, thank you for tuning in. It's good to see every single last one of you guys. So this is just a snippet of what went on Thornton Township. It's more less chaotic. I wanted to show this first because I saw one of my viewers on here and I thought she represented it pretty well.
Be boring for some people, but when the person in charge of the budget is at the center of numerous lawsuits and a federal investigation, people pay attention. Such is the case in South suburban Thornton Township. Some residents have raised concerns about the budget, but last night's meeting was suddenly canceled. NBC5's Regina Waldrop is in South Holland with the story and what happens next.
They came and they waited for almost an hour. Then they were told Tuesday night's Thornton Township Board of Trustees meeting was not going to happen.
She walks in and says, "Hey guys, the meeting is canceled. Sorry, we have to postpone it."
On the agenda, the proposed spending plan for the township, which consists of 17 South suburban communities and approximately 185,000 residents.
I got all of my paperwork, collected everything, and I'm sitting here ready.
But the budget is the main thing, the reason why I came. Right. For the budget.
Tony Richardson and many others at the meeting have been calling for more transparency. They were hoping to ask questions about the proposed spending plan. They also say they have concerns about Tiffany Henyard. She's the township supervisor and also the mayor of Dalton. Henyard is the focus of a federal criminal investigation and numerous lawsuits by business owners and employees, current and former.
Plenty of red flags, and I can speak so much on the lawsuits and what it does to us as residents from Dalton to the rest of the Thornton Township.
Everybody is fed up. They've let things get too far.
Christopher Gonzalez is a township trustee.
A lot of lack of communication and just, I hate to say, but incompetent.
Gonzalez says he was told Tuesday's meeting was canceled and rescheduled for Friday afternoon because the board didn't have a quorum.
They were here, they were waiting, they wanted to get their voices heard. It's not right.
We reached out to Tiffany Henyard's administration, but didn't hear back before our story aired.
We just need to get some changes made here as far as just moving forward and getting some transparency, getting some questions answered.
And again, that Board of Trustees meeting will now take place this Friday at 1 o'clock at Thornton Township offices.
So it took place this Friday, Thornton Township. This is one of the highlights that I want to share with you guys. At this part of the meeting, this is when Tiffany started talking about the tax levy. But before she started talking about the tax levy, someone wanted to speak. And this, when I said it was someone, and you guys, I'm not familiar with this person. You put it in the chat if you know her. She works at Thornton Township. I guess she wanted to speak and highlight of what she was doing and her office staff was doing in their department. And she said, "No, we don't got time for that. We moving forward," because it wasn't on the agenda. Well, you let everybody else speak. I guess everybody else that's patting you on the back and saying that, "Hey, Tiffany, you're doing a good job." Those are the only people that are allowed to speak, and people that don't question you. I believe that even the people that don't question you is now starting to question you, because now they're starting to feel the pressure from the FBI of the weeks and days of being questioned in the grand jury. They're probably like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't have loyalty to you, because Tiffany, she's not going to be loyal to you. She's going to throw you under the bus. She's going to say, 'Oh, I didn't know nothing about it. I don't have anything to do as it relates to credit card spending. I don't have anything to do as it relates to the checking account. My name ain't even on the checking account.'" But we could see, I got some receipts from October. We could see, and this is from Robert's Hart's credit card receipts and your Thief Creek Freeman beauty supply store. Thousands of dollars from the beauty supply store. But I got off on a tangent. I didn't want to talk about that. Anyway, this is a point where someone tries to speak and she wouldn't allow them.
I hear it all day, every day. So we're doing great. We're going to continue to do great. And always research for yourselves, because somebody might not like somebody for something that happened years ago, and they'll never say anything good about it. You have to find the information for yourselves. And that's my time. I thank you all just for listening and not disrupting me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, so media team, can you put the video up for media team?
Assessor.
Put it up for me, please.
I didn't. I'm sorry, I didn't catch the name. Assessor. Of course, she's not going to let the assessor talk. She doesn't like the assessor. She doesn't like the assessor. She's not going to let her talk. Okay, so my bad. I didn't catch her name because I had the video on 2x speed. She doesn't like the assessor. So that's what they're saying.
So this is a video that we did in Township Talk, and we went over every single thing as relates to what's going on here at the township. This is for department heads. I know. So this is not assessor right now. This is department heads. So put my video up so I can go over what we need to go over, please. All right, media team, are you ready? All right, let's put the slide up so we can go over it.
We have a lot of information for the residents.
Right now, I'm just getting your answer. So right now, I'm gonna do my video. So now, here we go. So this is the y'all will be removed if you don't want to hear it. We say we listen to you live, we still doing our reports. So stop. If I just told you who it is, that's what's next. So okay, play the video. All right, so this is something that we put together for everybody. So
now, mind you, she got these deep red going down in the negative bar graphs, okay? And you see that up here on the screen. So Tiffany is trying to portray that she was never in the negative. She saved Thornton Township. Tiffany is the savior. She wants to portray that she saved Thornton Township. This graph is not hard to make up, you guys. If you got Excel spreadsheet, you can just type in negative ... whatever number you want to make. Or make it up and down. Let's make it realistic. We're going to make it look like a upside down U in the negative. Then suddenly when I come in 2020 or 21, I'm saving the township. And look, magically appeared we in the positive. This is why I say lies on top of lies on top of lies will catch up with you. Why do you think the FBI actually is pulling financial records from Thornton Township? They're trying to make sure that Tiffany and her people are not, number one, commingling funds, and number two, is spending the federal dollars of where they're supposed to be spending in that. Okay. Let me reiterate, this bar graph that she's showing can be made. I can make that bar graph. I don't really need to use real numbers. I don't need to, and not to say these numbers are wrong. No shade. I'm not trying to throw shade on her. But given Tiffany's record, do you believe what she is showing you? Do you believe Robert Hunt? Robert Hunt made this. Do you believe Robert Hunt, or it could have been Keith Freeman? Do you believe them? Okay, with Keith Freeman lying, he's a liar and a thief. Do you believe these numbers? Robert Hunt, we just learned that he doesn't have kahunas to stand up for Tiffany. If I was Robert, I don't care if you're my boss. She would have got checked on site. On site. Most men that got kahunas would not let a woman talk to them any type of way. Anyway, I digress. So this is what she's saying.
So the graph is the same thing that Trustee Brown and everybody else went over. So it's basically the deficit versus the surplus. So you have a package as well that if you would like this information, that way you can educate yourself on what's going on here at Thornton Township. Like I said, people keep feeding you stuff, but y'all don't never want to hear another side and us show you actual truth. You ask for transparency, here it is. And then you can go and check everything that we speak of because they are audited numbers. All we do is pull our numbers and show it to the public. We put out Township Talk, we try to break it down each and every month so you guys will know what's going on. If she speaks out loud one more time, you remove her. Like, I'm not going to keep repeating myself because I want to get through this so I can tell the people that do want to hear the information. Remove her. All right, next slide. So this is a breakdown of, like I said, as you see at the top, the general fund. This is audited numbers for those that want the information. And stop letting people feed you information and you'll get the truth for yourself.
Tiffany don't know how to talk to people anyway. So she's going over the budget, blah, blah, blah. Then she started talking about the taxes. And she wants to show the people about the tax levy. Now, let me just, okay, the tax levy could have went up, but that is not indicative of your actual taxes going up. Just because they collected more in taxes, that doesn't mean your taxes went up. It could have meant your taxes gone up, but it also could have meant that they're collecting taxes off of a property that the city's turned it over to a regular residence. It could have meant that they have more people coming into the city of Dalton. Various of things that a tax levy could go up. And these tax levies have not been significant enough to say, oh, my taxes went up. So Tiffany's trying to prove that this 4.99%, it happens every year, which it doesn't. It doesn't happen every year. Dalton, and she had Dalton on there. Dalton probably was the only one that increased significantly. And I don't know what happened, but logically, I'm thinking that maybe Dalton was one of those cities that they probably never increased their taxes over a certain amount of period, and they went up substantially. They probably was like, oh, we haven't increased our taxes in 10 years, so let's make adjustment for cost of inflation. So this is what she's trying to tell.
And it's just for those that don't know what a true tax levy is. We utilize it for, next slide. It's just the definition of it. We use it for our police, our firemen, and public works, and then of course administration.
And Tiffany acts like her audience is stupid. Your audience is not stupid. They know what you use the tax. These are the taxpayers in the audience. They're questioning you and your spending. They know what it's used for, but they're questioning, are you using it for what you said you using it? Very disrespectful. I'm pretty sure some of these residents is like, does she think we're really stupid? That's why we showed up to the meeting, because we're questioning the use of our taxes. We don't trust you. You want to increase the taxes, but we don't trust you spending the taxes on what you're supposed to be spending on.
All of the money that comes into that city or village comes out of the tax levy, and that's how they pay for their administration, their salaries, their vehicles, whatever they got for that city. Next slide. So tax levy for Markham. Thank you for being here, Chawanne. This is their tax levy, so this is what she will vote on. So we forwarded it, and in the city of Markham, this is their tax levy for 2018, $12.8 million. So we're going to see how they increases. You see the numbers before you. Next slide. 2019, $13.5 million. The alderwoman right there, so this is what she votes on. Next slide. 2020, 13.9. Oh, y'all, good job for people raising your taxes. Okay. 13.9. This is city of Markham. So you see where the money coming from as it relates to raising your property taxes. Next slide. 2021, 14.4.
And you hear someone in the background, yeah, we don't care if they're raising our taxes. We care about your spending, because we know you're not spending it on what you're supposed to be spending. You're a liar and you're a thief. You're giving all your people raises. All your people raises. That's why let me just share with this with you. This is one of the budget that they just put out. What is the investment income? Somebody please throw me a lifeline. What are they investing in? You got an investment income of $760,000. What is that for? What were you investing in Bitcoin? Like, what are you buying bonds? Now, what is it? You guys should be questioning that. I'm curious to see what is the investment income. You're loaning out money. What is it? What is the Thornton Township, which is supposed to be civil service, investment in? It's not an investment banking company. What are you investing in? Anyway, if I was in Thornton Township, I would be questioning that. I don't know if it's buried in this report or anything, but I will definitely be questioning the investment income. And they said they hold several investments. Anyway, I wanted to get to this part of the budget, and it's the expense of the expenses. Administration department. This is what I wanted to point out. They operated under a $4.3 million budget. That's what they're operating on now. Since 2024, this is unaudited actual. So they put an unaudited actual number in there. That means it wasn't verified by an accountant. I guess Robert Hunt had his bookkeepers or whoever that's under him put these numbers together, or they haven't been audited yet, independent audit. I'm assuming that's what they're meaning by that. But you see how it jumps up in 2028, it jumps up $2 million. $2 million. Administration department. Who's getting that money? $2 million. Can somebody throw me a lifeline? Who will be getting that money? And exactly $2.5 million in deficit. Well, they said net asset change. Don't know where the net asset change come from, but it's a net asset change. And total expenditures is $18 million. So total expenditures, $18 million. You went from 12 million all the way up to 18.5 million. Nobody's questioning that. Department of Department of Community Outreach and Engagement, $3.7 million. Community engagement and outreach. Is that where her boyfriend works at? You guys can put it in the chat. Senior services is getting an increase of about 500,000. Transportation about 300,000 or 400,000. Everybody else looks pretty reasonable, but you got 2 million for the community outreach. That's where her boyfriend is at. And then, oh no, I'm sorry, I digress. I think he's on the youth and family program services. So he got a budget of $2.9 million. Increase about 800,000 over the next 4 years. Is that reasonable? I'm not for sure. Maybe he's getting some type of extra grant or whatever. Anyway, but the $2 million in salary increase, that's what we should be worrying about. And then this community outreach engagement. This might be a party for Tiffany. Campaign stuff, this is what Tiffany does. Then they break it down to workman's compensations and salaries and different things like that. Is this a reasonable thing? I think it's questionable, because I've never seen something. If you said I operated in this same salary and expensive in the administration department for 2 years, I would like to see the third year in 2022 what was happening. And now all of a sudden you're increasing to 6 million. That's really questionable. So let's get back to our regular schedule program. Tiffany, right now, she is going through the whole rigmarole trying to convince people of why we're increasing your taxes. Well, she's not Hey, if you want to see it, pull up the report. Okay. Of course, they're not going to say, oh, we're increasing our salary by $2 million. But everybody saw it. That's why they're at the meeting. Everybody saw it. You're increasing the administration salary by $2 million, or administration department. Because, you know, if you increase your salary, your workman's comp is going to go up. Unemployment insurance is going to go up. All those federal taxes, all that will go up. Anyway.
0.4, City of Markham, next slide. 2022, 14.6. You see it keep increasing. Next slide. 2023, 14.9. Next slide. Now this is the one for Village of Dalton, where I am the mayor at. So I put everybody in here. And just so you know how the tax levies go, this is get voted on by your board. So 2017, we was at 6.3, this Village of Dalton. Next slide. 2018, 9 million. You see it? Village of Dalton. Next slide. 2019, 10.3. This Village of Dalton. So for all you that like to write stuff, go and FOIA our tax levy from the Village of Dalton. You will see that the Board of Trustees all voted to increase your property taxes, right? But they point the finger at other people. Next slide. 2020, 10.3. Village of Dalton. Village of Dalton. Next slide. 2021, 10.6. Village of Dalton. Next slide. 2022, 11.1. Next slide. 2023, 11.6. Next slide. Now we go to Hazelcrest. So what I did was, for every single community, they gave me a tax levy that I have right here. You can do the same, and you're gonna get the same exact information. And I did not get not one person's that I didn't put up here. They gave it to us, it's up here. If they did not give it to us, I'm gonna do a part 2 to it, so you can see if you're.
And you know, FOIA requests, someone put that in the chat. She doesn't answer them. That is exactly why WGN is suing her. And she doesn't answer any financial FOIA requests. You request other stuff. You could request probably the tax levy. You probably could request that. But if you get down to like credit card receipts, what's the overtime budget for certain departments, she's not going to answer those. She's not going to answer those. And as a matter of fact, the Village of Dalton, they changed their FOIA request form. Now it looks like, let me just show you. It looks, because they really get into what type of organization you are. They really don't. They're really trying to hide people from requesting information. And this is the FOIA request. What I'm getting at, they changed the form for the FOIA request for the Village of Dalton. This is what the form looks like now. Okay, they ask you city and state or whatever, and the type of organization you are with, or the company organization name, and then they're charging you 15 cents per page. They used to not charge you, but they probably, I don't blame them. They probably got a lot of people asking for FOIA, and I guess that's pretty reasonable. I tried to FOIA something here because I was trying to look into a bid because I wanted to bid on a project here, and they wanted to charge me $70. I think it was $170 to get the formal bid proposals. Why are you charging me $170 for that? That I thought that was outrageous, but that's what they were charging. And then they have a spot where they can deny you. I'm not for sure if Miss Keys is receiving these because she handles all the records. But they do need to, if you ask for something without her reach or not within her reach, of course she's going to forward it into somebody else's department. So anyway, but they do have, it's by law, they have to answer for your request. I believe it's 5 days, 5 business days. Anywho, so they're not really trying to answer for your request. That's why WGN is suing them. So we're going to move forward. Now, on this point of the video, she's going through the taxes, but Tiffany, she got really irritated at one point, and I'll just show it to you.
Everybody got to be quiet about who's speaking. Okay, so I don't have order, guys. We can't hear.
This part, okay, I told you she invited all her department heads to speak to explain what money is being spent on, or just what they actually do in the department. At this part, this is Robert Hunt. Okay, he's explaining, hey, every dollar you send into for taxes to your local city, we only get 5 cents. Okay, that's a good thing to know, but we know you getting some money and you're trying to increase taxes. That's one reason why that last resolutions failed. Remember last year, it was on the ballot to, or as a matter of fact, I think it was February, it was on the ballot to increase the taxes in Thornton Township because they wanted to do something, and they voted it down. Because all the mayors was like, no, we don't trust her with our money. And they voted it down. But anyway, this is what Robert Hunt is explaining. And throughout him speaking, she was very disrespectful. Okay, Robert, next slide. Like, dude, why are you talking to him like that?
Yes, we're going to first go over the, first talk about where we at the Thornton Township right now. So everyone should have this comparative analysis from 2017, I'm showing right here. They're going to have it on the screen too for everyone to look at. But this is going to show a comparative analysis from 2017 to 2014.
24.
I'm sorry, 2017 to 2024. So we right now start on the first page 1. I'm on page 1, everyone. Page 1. Page 1. Page 1. Does everyone have this report? If you don't have it in your hand, it's also on the screen up there. And there's a screen back here too. So we're on page 1. All right, page 2. Page 2. And on the screen also, we got the table of contents. On page 2, we're on page 2.
And Robert, you need to stop doing that. Stop it. I know you're dealing with some people, maybe seniors, but hey, we're talking about the budget analysis report or the annual budget of 2024. Please turn with me to page blah, 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 and start it. Stop acting like you dealing with a bunch of idiots. Come on now. And then you wonder why Tiffany is talking to you like an idiot. You guys need to stop that. It's very demeaning and disrespectful.
Page 3. We're on page 3. All right. Taxes paid.
And you hear, just like I just said, just start. But she called him the N-word, I think. Just start the damn spiel. Whatever you're talking about, just start it. Turn with me to page 3. We're going to discuss blah, blah, blah.
Township. On the next page is a sample tax bill for a household of $133,280 in South Carolina house. This household has a homeowner exemption, and their tax bill for the year was $5,939.10. Of that $5,939.10, a total of $313.43 was paid to Thornton Township. $313.43 or $5,939.10 is 5% of the tax bill that goes to Thornton Township to support Thornton Township government. Another way to say it, imagine you own a house in South Holland and it's worth $133,280. You get a break on your taxes because you are the homeowner, which is great. Now your total tax bill for the year comes out to $5,939.10. That's what you owe for owning your house. Now, part of the bill.
And maybe this Illinois is just a higher cost of living. I have a problem with that. You guys are paying way too much in taxes. Ain't no way in hell you should be paying $5,000 on taxes on $100,000 house. That's really insane. And maybe just because maybe in the area I live in, my house value is assessed for 4 times as much, and I pay the same thing, $5,700. I think our tax bill was $5,700 this year. But I think in these smaller cities, they have a lot of corruption. I don't think Tiffany is the only one that is corrupt in these smaller townships and municipal, because people are not putting their eye on them. Remember Harvey, the Harvey mayor? He was corrupt for years. They tried to get him out, and they still haven't prosecuted him. They prosecuted his brothers, but they still haven't prosecuted this Harvey mayor. And he was strong arming some businesses in his mayor of Harvey. What was his name? Was it Eric Kellogg? Was it that? Was that the guy? Yeah, this was the guy. Strip club paid mayor of Illinois City for years to allow prostitution. That's the first thing that come up. So, you know, he was strong arming businesses, just like Tiffany was. Tiffany's doing. Tiffany doing, you don't donate to my campaign, we shut you down. But Eric Kellogg, another thing about Eric Kellogg, he borrowed so much money against the city, they do not allow them to get bonds anymore because of mismanagement of funds. And that's probably part of the reasons why your taxes are going up, because they need to pay off these bonds, pay off these lawsuits. Dalton's in trouble. They got umpteen million lawsuits. I think the last time I looked it up, Dalton got about 17 pending lawsuits against them. So this is the things that why your taxes are so high. Number one, the corruption. Number two, mismanagement of funds. And then you're always borrowing, robbing Peter to pay Paul. It's ridiculous. But I can't imagine having $100,000 home and paying $5,000 in taxes for what? And I haven't been to Calumet City, but I know it's not the safest place in America. It's not one of those places, oh, I want to stop by and get an apple pie. No, it's not. Anyway, so he's going over the budget. And people are mad because throughout his speech, Tiffany didn't kept on interrupting him.
Bill goes to Thornton Township, specifically $313.43. So out of your total bill, Thornton Township gets $313.43 to help run things in Thornton Township. To put it in a simpler term, for every $1 you pay in taxes, about 5 cents goes to Thornton Township. Page 4 is the sample.
Repeat that, Robert. You say how much goes to Thornton Township?
To put it in simple terms.
Repeat that, Robert. How much go to Thornton Township? We don't even get that much damn money. Like, no, Tiffany, it doesn't matter how much money you get. It's what you're doing with the money. We don't care if you get 5 cents. You mismanaging that 5 cents. Like Trustee Belcher, we don't even trust you to buy penny candy. We don't trust you to buy penny candy.
Robert, repeat it.
Wow. Why she talk to you like that?
Page 4 of the sample tax bill.
Robert, repeat it. Why you got to do that, Tiffany? That's not even necessary.
Okay, so what I'm trying to point out to you guys is Thornton Township only takes 5 cents of your tax dollars. The tax levy comes from your city.
We know that, Tiffany. All the people in the audience is probably further educated than you. We know you barely graduated out of high school. So stop trying to act like you are so knowledgeable about taxes. You're not. You have bad spending habits. You love to buy red bottom shoes, and you got enough money. They pay you enough money to buy your own shoes, but you probably using the taxpayers' money to buy your fancy outfits and your hair weave, your $1,000 wigs. So come on now. Stop it. Stop it with the madness.
You live in. So if you live in Riverdale, if you live in Dalton, if you live in Harvey, if you live in Calumet City, if you live in Posen, wherever you live, that is where the bulk of your tax bill comes from. This is the part I try to educate everybody on when we get into township talk. So another part that your tax bill comes from is your school board, your library board, your park board. They don't tell you this. So it's not all of Thornton Township. So you got to know that. I'm trying to educate you on something. So the part that comes from us, you out of order. The part that comes from Thornton Township is 5 cents. So I'm trying to tell you that. That's what Robert's sitting there telling you. As well as said, the bill, he's breaking it down to show you how the 5 cents comes to from your household, from your tax bill. All right, go ahead, Robert.
Okay. Right now, on page 5, it does a breakdown of key financial terms. Fund balance. In simple terms, the fund balance for government entities is like the money left over in their accounts after they have paid all their bills and expenses. Kind of like the leftover cash you have in your wallet after you pay for everything you need. Change in fund balance. The change in fund balance for the year for government entities like checking if you end up with more money saved up or if they went into debt by comparing what they took in versus what they spent. Revenue. Revenue is the money they collect from taxes, fees, and other sources to pay for public services like roads, schools, and healthcare. Expenses. Expenses for government entities are the money they spend on things like salaries, building roads, community events, and other things that help run the township. Now I'm going to page 6. This chart shows the change in fund balance for the general fund. In 2017, there was a negative $2,206,774. In 2018, there was a negative $2,407,182. In 2019, there was a negative $1,794,051. In 2020, there was a negative $4,398,289. In 2021, there was a negative $1,951,891. In 2022, there was a negative, change of fund balance, there was a negative $4,558,558. In 2023, there was a surplus, and it was a change in the fund balance. There was a positive $3,195,652. In 2024, the change of fund balance was a positive $6,150,908.
Okay, so what he just explained to you is the previous years y'all had a deficit. In the 2 years that I've been here as your supervisor, you have a surplus.
Stop it, Tiffany. Stop it. Tiffany just full of shit. Okay, I just don't know what to say after that. You are full of crap. That's why people are mad at you, because they can't even trust you to buy penny candy. They can't. They can't trust you to buy penny candy.
Go ahead. We wouldn't trust you to buy penny candy. You think we're about to let you buy properties?
We can't even trust you to buy penny candy, let alone buy properties or anything else in that matter. We can't trust you. That's why people are mad. That's exactly why people are mad at you.
Go ahead. We wouldn't trust you to buy penny candy. You think we're about to let you buy properties? I could care less.
And she could care less. We can't even trust you to buy penny candy. We can't trust you to buy penny candy, let alone anything else, girl, because you got a financial management problem. Anyway, so she kept on interrupting Robert Hunt. Okay, so this other video I want to share with you guys. Just shout out to Reality Check TV. If you guys have not subscribed to him, he is on YouTube as well. I lifted this from his YouTube channel. He had posted Thornton Township meeting up on here. At one point in the video, Gonzalez was questioning about the budget. Gonzalez questioned about the budget, and Tiffany got really irritated. Well, he's a trustee. He's supposed to question. This is what he's supposed to do. They are the responsible. They're responsible to manage the budget, to make sure you guys are staying within the budget and spending it on things that actually Thornton Township really needs. Okay, and that's why they put things to a vote. But she got quite irritated about this. So this is this part.
What's that different head count we talking about specifically? But yeah, there was some decreases in administration. Yeah, but that's, and then I guess more important.
So just a general question about the budget itself. Is there a percentage raise that's in here for the employees?
Yeah, great question. Page 8, 10 of these items on this thing is the exact same, no change from last year. We appropriated the exact same as we did last year.
Thank you, Reggie Cady. Appreciate you.
And for 10 line items.
Miraculous, we apologize.
Where it talks about the 3 departments where it is a change, when we put an increase on the budget from last year. That was the senior service department, the transportation, and community engagement and outreach. And then actually on page 10 of 10, there was one department that actually a decrease in salary when you compare this appropriation to last year appropriation.
Right. No, but I'm asking, is there a percentage raise in the budget for the employees?
Yeah, the same, everything's the same as last year. The last appropriation that we did last year is the exact same.
I guess what Robert's explaining to you is the exact same from last year. So if it was in there last year, it's in there this year. So whatever that was, it's still in there. I don't know. I didn't do the budget. So this is the department head's budget, right? This is the department. I didn't do the budget. I said I seen the budget, of course. But anyway, ask your question. You already see what's on the line. So ask your question so we can move on.
Gonzalez is asking what is the percentage raise for staff in the budget. Okay, and Robert Hunt is saying it's the same as last year, besides certain, it's 3 different departments. Yeah, it's a percentage raise. Is it 5-10%? Is it 25%? Probably. We don't know. Tiffany is going around changing people's money and their salaries. That's why they had to turn it into the FBI. The FBI asked for the administration salaries. So Gonzalez, he's trying to reveal this information so the public can know. I'm assuming, because I think he already knows, or maybe he doesn't, because on the paper that one of my viewers sent me, some of the pages are missing. So I'm pretty sure it's buried in the report.
We got two more meetings.
Is there the consensus office included in that?
Yes, sir, yes. Again, that's a great question. On page 8, you'll see the assessment department appropriation is the exact same as last year. So everything's staying the same, everything's staying the same, no change from the last year appropriation. I really don't know how to say it in a way, but for those 10 departments, on page 8, it is the exact same appropriation and budget from last year. Everything is the same. Every cost increase, everything is the same for those 10. So on page 8.
So last year, their percentage raise that the employees got.
Yeah, they got most of it.
What was that?
I don't want to get sick. I don't
So that wasn't the consensus office did that?
Yeah, I'm saying that everybody got most of it. I don't know exactly about it.
Okay, Robert, you asked the question. He says the exact same. So if everybody got 2%, 1% cost of living, that's what it is. Exact same from last year, not change. What's your next question, or can we move on? All right, thank you. So it's the same. All right.
No, that didn't ask the question or answer the question, Tiffany. He wanted to know what the exact percentage was. See, Robert, you failed right there. You failed the test of being a decent accountant. You did the budget. You should be able to ask or answer these questions about salaries. Isn't this what the FBI is questioning you about? You should have the number right on top of your head. Yeah, I reviewed the number and it's 5%. Yeah, I reviewed the number and it's 2.5%. Oh no, we only do an annual cost living adjustment for raises. The FBI has been questioning you about that for the longest. Why wouldn't you have the number on top of your head? Come on now. And Robert acting like he's afraid to answer. That's what the problem is. And Tiffany didn't want him to answer that question. And he should. Everybody, it's going to be out now. We already know that they probably getting 5 to 10, 20% raises. I believe Bobby Murray, he pulled up somebody's salary. As a matter of fact, somebody sent it to me a while back. Tiffany Henyard's cousin or sister or somebody that work in the department, she started making $40,000 a year. She's up to $60,000 a year. Let me see if I can find that. No, this is not it. Oh yeah, I found it. Look at this. Correction. This is Tiffany. Somebody. This is Tiffany. Now this is Bobby Moore. Search this out. Tiffany was making 226 in 2020, 226,000 for Thornton Township. Tiffany Henyard in 2023, she's making a whopping $306,000. Tiffany is clear. She is raking in that paper. $306,000. This probably includes like monies that, you know, her whole salary. I believe she get like 5,000 or 6,000 a month to spend on whatever she wants to spend it on. I'm not for sure. I'm pretty sure there's some guidelines into that. And then her base salary. So she makes $306,000 from Thornton Township. And then she makes $55,000 as the liquor commissioner. Remember, she's the liquor commissioner. So she's making that's $360,000. Then she's making $65,000 from being the mayor. Tiffany clearing $420,000. Tiffany making that change. Tiffany is balling out. No wonder she got on red bottoms. All on the expense of you. You are paying for her red bottoms. And then what else he pointed out, somebody named Tamika Henyard. Don't know if this person is real or not. Maybe this is what they call ghost payroll. You guys put in the chat. I'm not in Thornton Township or Dalton Village. Tamika Henyard is making $55,000 a year. And in 2020, she got a whopping increase of $68,000 a year. Somebody put the percentage in there. What's the percentage for that? Now that's really insane. Looks like maybe a 25% increase on Tiffany's salary, right? And then yeah, 26%. She got a 26% increase. Tamika, don't know who that is. A 20% increase over 1 year. What job do you know is giving you a 20% raise? If you're not in sales. Now in sales, you could do that. In sales, you could do that. Sometimes if you work at a plant or, you know, they do bonuses, you get it in a bonus, but it's not your base salary. But yeah, your bonuses, you could get a 20%. It wouldn't even be called a raise. It'd be called a bonus. But this is a guaranteed raise, 20%. 68. Who knows Tamika Henyard and what position does she hold at Thornton Township? I don't know. But she got a 20% raise. Okay, so now he's going over, let me just share this tag with you. So they went back and forth. Tiffany didn't like the questions that Chris Gonzalez was given. And about this point of the meeting, let me share the wrong video. This point of the meeting, Tiffany got mad at Robert. Guess he got mad.
Come on, man. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Stop the cap.
Okay, stop so we can
Stop
make
the
his
cap.
comment. Make your comment, Robert, and go sit down. Robert, go ahead and make your comment. Y'all have to be quiet so y'all can hear him.
Tiffany, sometimes she don't even know she being rude because she just so ghetto. Make your comment, Robin. Go sit down. Boy, go sit down somewhere, like I told you.
That was a lie.
Okay, thank you, Robert.
The lie detector texted. That was a lie.
S something head, Swather head, Wahorn head. All right. Mr. Brown, Jediah.
I came here because I didn't know that the residents would be able to
Put a cap in the chat. Put a cap.
switch. But I'm glad to see they did.
Stop the cap.
And I will let them express their grievances because this is them. But I want a person to say, I do not appreciate the false police report.
Yes.
You are absolutely right. This is Dr. King's dream. And we not be judged by the color of our skin,
Put a cap.
but by the content of our
Stop signing the cap.
And the reason why you have so much heat is because when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. It's sick, nobody does. And so I'm gonna be very simple because I'm here to back
Stop the cap.
township up.
Yeah.
I started with Andrew, you didn't handle that way. So now I was with Dalton, and you ain't handling that way. And now I'm with the township. So these are my very simple words, attorney.
Stop the cap.
Help them decipher what things are because they like to play.
I guess Reality Check TV doesn't like Jedediah Brown. I guess, you know, there's a small little beef between them. Anyway, so Jedediah spoke. They tried to stop Valerie. You know, she's an ex-trustee. They tried to stop her from speaking because they said she's not on the list.
It don't work like that. You can't yield time. It does not work that. I'm telling y'all, can you please remove yourself so that we can keep going with our board meeting, please? It don't work that way. I just
25 more lights. Come on, y'all.
Can you please remove yourself from the podium? So you speak.
Leslie B.
Can we please remove yourself from the podium? Okay, you go out. You can get out. So please, see, that's a threat. That's a threat.
And the supervisor, we thought that was about the budget. Okay, I know it's a public
Guys, this is like interruption. Hello?
They should just let her speak instead of doing all this. She could say, "You guys, I'm going to let her speak." And I don't even think she got a chance to speak, but whatever.
Y'all don't want to follow no rules. We got a list of people that signed in. Let them speak in order.
There wasn't a sheet available to me when I came in. So that's not my fault because I don't control the sheet. But what I would like to say or ask, Trustee Gonzalez, I'm sorry, but you don't do my name. Perhaps, maybe you can answer my question. In January, when Keith Freeman and the super mayor went to Washington, D.C., and it came out in the media that it was paid for by Thornton Township, over $9,000. Do you have any knowledge of that? Because that's intermingling funds. Because if it was a mayor's conference for mayors only, it should have not been paid for by Thornton Township. And I'm asking Thornton Township supervisor, along with Keith Freeman, to pay that money back, because those are our tax dollars. Pay that money back to Thornton Township. And I would like that, Madam Clerk, to go on record.
All right, next person. Stephanie Wiederman.
Hello everyone, how are you? I just wanted to point out a couple things. First of all, the mental health referendum. It was so important. Mental health is a priority here at Thornton Township. It always has been. Those services were provided
See cash money, I see.
to residents all the years I worked here. And now they got up and talked about a budget that didn't include mental health at all. But you wanted us to pay more taxes for it. I find that very interesting. The other thing is, I'm wondering, Robert, if the salaries have gone down in ZAP, because you guys are about to vote on a bid for contractors to help us. So that could be the reason maybe why. And then the 4.99% that you keep talking about. Nobody wants their taxes raised. However, I'm sure that most of the people in this room are well aware of what
Yes, Angela, yes,
do,
Stephanie.
whether you think they are or not. Our issue is not the 4.99%. Our issue is giving.
See you, Troy Willing.
Tasha Holland.
We meet again. My record is Tasha Holloway, and I would like to say that I am utterly appalled at this administration as I pay good money for taxes in Thornton Township. Our Thornton Township supervisor is a master manipulator, and she's gonna call names, and I'm gonna call her by her. Master manipulator, narcissist, and gaslighter. And I was not gonna say this, but I will now. My son, she asked him to host a dance camp, which he did, and she offered him $200, and he didn't get it. It's because of this man, Jedediah Brown, that my son got his $200, and I guess she's gonna say no comment to that as well. And I also noticed that since I've been speaking publicly about the things that I'm sick and darn tired of, all of a sudden, I'm getting these doggone calls from nowhere about credit cards that I did not have. They're reciting my license plate to me as well as my address. And who knows where I have been lately? In Dalton, with the police running my license plate illegally. And they even made reference to a police report that I filed in Calumet City. How the hell does someone, a bill collector, ask you about a police report that you filed regarding identity theft? That is retarded, ridiculous, insane, and just as ignorant as this doggone first 10 pages of 147 that we were given. We should have been given all of the 147 pages that we paid for. This building and this administration have ink and have printers. They don't just supposed to print us out what they want us to see. Print out the whole thing. Let us see what you're hiding. Let us see not the edited, but the audited receipts.
Dennis Thomas.
They said everything to me.
The last one is, I don't know how to pronounce. Right, do we need an ambulance? No? Okay. right, that is public comment. So, reports and presentation in here none. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
What was that about? What was that about? I don't understand. Was she in church? What was going on with that?
Can you say your name?
Again, like I said before, I don't usually speak, but I'm very upset about the agenda. I don't get the agenda of the board meeting, but I did get to see the minutes that you guys published on the agenda. One of the things that really bothered me is why are we contracting out a long-term service for seniors, a contracted service? When Zach program, I'm going to say it's the Zach, he's the one who put the program together that was for teenagers to connect with the seniors and to have jobs. Currently, there's a 19-year-old kid in Lansing who says he can't get a job anywhere and he wants to work, but I can't direct him to go to this HAT program because you're going to vote on that today that a long service that you're going to probably pay $4 and you're doing it. And when I grew up, I had a paper route. They took paper routes away from kids. So I learned work ethic through that paper route. Now you're taking work ethic away from teenagers for the design program to learn how to do home care, which there's a lot of different things that they can learn. They learn to connect with seniors. They learn to the work ethic that we definitely need in the world today. And so what you need to do is, I never saw any recruitment. Why have you not gone to all the different municipalities and said, hey, do you have any teenagers that is available to do this? And you have to do that.
So she's complaining about the youth program. I guess they're voting today on lawn service. And from what was told in the past, the lawn service for the youth is supposed to be for the youth to obtain jobs and connect with the seniors, for seniors if they need their lawns mowed and what have you. So they can have money, and number two, connect with the seniors. Just to have that type of responsibility and quorum with seniors, because if you know you're senior, you tend to live and respect the elderly people. Anyway, I guess they're doing away with that program. So now at this point, they're coming up to the vote. Let me just see minutes. Thank you so much. Everyone, please allow me to give out this fact. Sorry, everyone. Okay. This is when she get to disrespect. I've seen.
Somebody's talking. I was raised, my grandmother in the grave. But I believe she'll come out and whoop if I let somebody talk, or somebody's talking and I'm trying to talk over them. We cannot teach our kids that. We can't keep doing that either. But not to digress on that. I just want to say that I never want to see anybody nor myself in trouble in their life. And at 67 years of age, I look good, right? But I am 67 years old. My days left are what they are. And I won't be spending them constantly dealing with anything wrong being done. It ain't gonna happen, okay? You could count on me, but I'm gonna work to improve what's going on around here. Like the gentleman said over there, it's not too late. We must keep that in mind. Going forward, and I've already had this conversation, we must institute. We must, not we should, not maybe, we must institute guardrails here at this township. We have to have committees that are going to be overseeing, not running, because everyone here had opportunity to hear from these department heads. You come up to this township, and you see programs running. I don't think I used to get along with Tamika. Okay, but she's laughing over there. But every time I come up here and I go past that general assistant's office, all I'm hearing is people names being called, and they being called in there and they're getting served. I continue to see all of the things that's going on in the senior service department, where I go there and for the managers so eloquently to elaborate how many meals were fed to people.
Okay, I'm not going to get into that, but this is, what they're doing.
We're willing to do that, and we need to make the serious issues that we get.
Yes.
Trustee Gray Everett. Trustee Carlisle. What she said? She said yes? Supervisor Hilliard.
They voted on something. This is the where their Tiffany is convincing Carlisle to change her vote. Why? I'm not for sure. You should have had that all together. Y'all should have. Hey, Carlisle, this is you vote yes, yes, yes on these bills and no, no, no on these. Don't do it in front of people because this is illegal right now.
Come on, y'all. We need 13 more lights to get 900. 13 more lights. Thank you, Val. Thank you. Hey, we might as well go to 1,000 lights. See if we can do this. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. I just want to be seen.
Okay, guys. All right, now we're moving on. We're moving on. But look, y'all cannot do that. This is our board meeting. Our board meeting. So our board meeting, we talk amongst each other.
No, you can't talk amongst each other. You got to talk open meeting act. They need to hear your conversation. You can't be whispering after a vote and you're trying to get the old girl to change her vote. You can't do that. Talk in the mic. If y'all having a healthy debate, you need to talk in the mic of what this debate is about because you're literally voting on something.
So y'all be quiet. Be quiet.
Who is this guy in the You guys put in the chat, who is this guy in the camouflage pants just standing at the table?
So he calls it when the attorney comes back, we will finish our votes.
You don't run me or my you out there.
I see you, De La. The breakdown crew in the building.
You don't even need enough food trucks. You got one hiding in this house.
Somebody put in chat, Nurse Petty said that's Steve Freeman. He lost a lot of weight if that's him. And he kind of looks shorter. Yeah, you guys put in the chat. I'm talking about this guy in the camouflage set standing next to the board. I don't know who this guy is, but anyway.
All right, next, can I have a motion for adoption of 2024/2025 budget and appropriation ordinance 24-003 for Thornton Township General Fund? Is there a motion? Is there a motion? Okay. Is there a second? Is there a motion in second? Call the roll.
Yes, the general fund. Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Jones? Trustee Carlisle? Trustee Gray Everett? Supervisor? Motion passes.
All right, next on the agenda, is there a motion to approve awarding the HAPLUN mowing and maintenance
Thank you,
services
Sonia, for subscribing.
request
Thank
for
you.
proposals to the successful
Like and
bidder.
subscribe.
The
Like
lowest
and
season
subscribe.
care service is to authorize Thornton Township officials and the township to negotiate a
Right here, live
contract
and direct.
consistent with this award. Is there a motion? Is there a motion? All right, it's been a motion. Is there a second? It's been a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I had concerns about it too because I think it's a great program for young people. But I did talk to Stan Brown, who's over that program, and what he said is they only have 9 employees right now cutting grass, so they do need the help. Because I wanted to know if Zach was going to be or Hap was going to be replaced, or if it was going to be like a work together kind of thing. And he said right now it's just supplemental, and they do really need the help, but they need somebody that can come in and kind of commit to it because people are all over the place, and residents do complain about the high grass and about not getting service on time. So I think it is very important for us to be able to supplement the program until we can get young people in. So if you do know anybody that needs a job or wants a summer job, have them apply because we do need the assistance right now. Is that?
Please let me say this as well, because we both had conversation with Mr. Brown about the lawn care service. One of the more important things is the fact that, and I heard the young lady when she talked about recruitment and things of that nature, those are very pertinent issues. But the one thing that continues to happen that we need to be cognizant of is the fact that it's just too many of these young kids that are not passing these drug tests. And 2 years ago, I know that we had an issue where somebody, what did he cut off his foot or something, or his toe or his finger? I'm not saying that he was under the influence, but the fact of the matter is we need to make sure that the right things are being done when we hire people for something like that. Cutting grass, putting their hand on lawnmowers, weed whackers, things of that nature. So we are having that as a challenge, and that's something that Mr. Brown's steady working on. So please give us that opportunity as well. Thanks.
All right, in a discussion, please call the roll. What else you got?
My concern is, it says we're entering into this agreement, but it also says that it's being negotiated. How do you enter into an agreement that you don't know what it costs?
If I can clarify, please. So it was awarded at $35 per cut. And so the things that need to be negotiated, because the contractor did not present an actual contract, that it's like indemnification, insurance, and other items to protect the village, to protect the township. So because of that, we need to have a contract that lays all that stuff out. And if you notice, it does say consistent with the award, and the award is at $35 per cut. So the price will be $35 per cut that will be in the contract. It's honestly just all the other legalese as it relates to contract cancellation, termination. No, they presented insurance. If you look in the board packet, the stuff that was presented, they did present insurance.
He is, all right, call her up.
Excuse me, Pastor, can I get your assistance? We need a safety check.
Okay, hold on, we got board meeting. Hold on, we got board meeting. Hold on, we have an actual board meeting going on right now. Let me finish. Let me finish. Trustee Jones, Trustee Gonzalez, Trustee Gray Everett. You said yes? Trustee Carlisle? Trustee Carlisle? Supervisor Henry, motion passed. All right, is there a motion to adjourn? Is there a second?
So that was it. That was it on the board meeting. What's going to happen next? Don't know. You know, you should have the Village of Dalton coming up. That's going to be a doozy. Their board meeting is coming up. It's probably today. I gotta look. I haven't seen no announcement. Somebody put it in the chat. Let me know when the Village of Dalton's board meeting is scheduled for. Anywho, the next story, you guys put in the chat. Let me know what you think about that whole debacle. Stan Ollie, it sounds like a nice town with nice programs. She just ran it through the ground. Yeah. Nurse Patty, the board meeting tonight for Village of Dalton is 6:30 tonight. Okay. So that's something else we're going to talk about probably tomorrow. We're going to get a laugh tomorrow too. So, the next thing I want to talk about, I want to share this story with you guys. I've been talking about Flint and their whole situation. There was actually 2 kids that were killed. I think it was a couple of years ago. And let me see if I could find the story. It's right here. Okay. So, and this is from CNN. It made nationwide news. Mother seeks further investigation into the death of the sons who died after firefighters failed to properly search burning home. We talked about this when Representative Tanya Burns, I had her on as a guest on my show, and she mentioned this. And reason why they didn't launch a further investigation is because the motion failed. I guess that's if you really want to call it that. And these kids were in the home caught on fire. The firefighters came. They said that they looked in the home, but they didn't look throughout the home. These little boys was under the bed. A second truck came up. They actually found the boys under the bed and they died from their injuries, smoke inhalation. It is so sad. So right now, I think she's reaching the statute of limitation. Some of the people from Flint sent me a video about them discussing this and trying to launch an investigation into the firefighters. And on this story, it says the mother of 2 boys who died following a house fire in Michigan earlier this year is pushing for an independent investigation after 2 firefighters were accused of lying about properly searching for the survivors. Zaire Mitchell, 12, and his brother Lamar, 9, died soon after the fire at their home in Flint on May the 28th. Several weeks later, an investigation led the fire department found that the 2 firefighters tasked with the initial search from the room the children were in lied about properly sweeping for the victims. Almost 7 minutes later, the children were found by other firefighters. Both later died at the hospital from smoke inhalation. Their mother said state fire investigators ruled faulty electrical wiring caused the fire. And it's probably so, okay, faulty electrical wiring. But you actually enter in my home and you said you swept the home. Why didn't you find the children? Why didn't you search every room? So this is a problem. And the July report, Flint Firefighter Department's Chief Raymond Barton determined that the two firefighters, Daniel Sanaki and Michael Zlotek, should be terminated from the department due to the nature of the incident in question and the actions or lack of action possibly contributing to the loss of two victims. Okay. So that's basically no, this is not the video. How long is this video? Let me see if it got sound on it.
It's the police department's official position that there was no chase.
Okay, so that's one story I want to share with you with Flint. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about is on this matter is because the young lady and her what's the lady's name that's she's actually a trustee, or she's a council member. They wanted to vote on it, and she stepped out of the room saying like she didn't want to vote on it. Anyway, I'm not for sure. Let me just pull it up. If they're actually and Robert Neely was the mayor at the time, but I'm really not for sure if this lady is actually receiving justice from Flint. But I do know. So this is one story. This other story, this is with Eric Mays, where the police department went on a high-speed chase, and they end up, I guess the person that they were chasing end up crashing into something, and they end up dying. And that's what they're discussing now in this video.
The police department's position is currently, let me explain something. I met with Ms. Davis, and also I sent the email to Councilman Murphy, which was unusual to meet with Ms. Davis and her family members. And I gave her a detailed description of the incident that had occurred. I had no problem doing that because there's no cover up. We're being transparent. This department is transparent and hold our officers accountable.
Let me ask the question though. Is you making a public position to Councilman Mays in this council that the official position of the police department is that there were no chase?
I provided the details to Councilman Murphy and Mrs. Davis and her family.
I'm talking about Councilman Mays in this council.
Well, this is an open, active investigation, number one.
Oh, so we're still under investigation?
Absolutely.
There's no decision made yet?
Yeah, there's been a decision made, but there's litigation.
As it relates?
There's possible litigation.
Okay, yeah. But if the officer was involved in a chase, and you and Mr. Neely has said publicly that under certain circumstances it would be no chase. We have a no chase policy under certain circumstances in the city of Flint, correct?
That's correct. Some vehicle pursuits are prohibited, absolutely.
That's correct. Yes. And so in this case,
the problem with Flint is like the wild, wild west. Okay, it's similar to Dalton, and to me, it's worse than Dalton. You have this mother of these two kids, and there's really two kids that were. This to me, this is horrific. Died in their house, and they could have been saved, but they wasn't saved. They tried to make it racially motivated. I'm not for sure about that, but you have two little boys that passed away because the firefighter didn't do their job. Then you had another firefighter that said, "Oh, I'm going to do my job," and end up finding the kids. So that is a problem. Then you have a police chase, and this mother, they have a no chase policy, especially over a traffic stop, and I believe that's throughout Michigan because you know that it ends deadly. Okay, you're chasing somebody for a traffic stop. Who cares? He ran the red light. Just let him run the red light. Some people might say, oh, they need to follow the rules of the law. Yeah, that too. But now you got a victim that's her son was killed, 26-year-old. Not to say he was the best kid in the world, but who cares? You chased him and you shouldn't have chased him. What if he would have struck another vehicle? Or what if the police car would have struck another vehicle because of this police chase? And that's why they have a no chase policy. But you have Flint, Michigan. Flint, Michigan thinks they could do anything with what the hell, whatever the hell they want to do. And this is Eric May's questioning about their policy and what have came of it.
And you might know more than me, said that an officer came up to Bites, used to be Mona's, was clearing out some people hanging out, and that was communications because the information I have say the officer spit on the individual's car. Now, right or wrong, I don't know. They might have been cussing the officer out. I don't know. But then the gentleman, her son, left. And when he left, the witnesses I talked to say the officer followed. And then there's some folks followed that officer. And they seen at one point the officer flashed lights and pulled them over. And when they flashed lights and pulled them over, I hear it's alleged that they got out maybe with guns. And whether that's true or false, this was being alleged, and then they took off and they were pursued. Now, where the pullover stop happened, if it happened, it might have happened closer to Saginaw and Pearson Road. But I'm hearing, if it happened, and it's a lady here who said that it happened across the street from her house. And I'm people tell half from a gentleman in her.
Okay, so I don't know why video cut out, but so yeah, so you had those two boys that were killed. They didn't launch an investigation, and then you had this one. And I'm not saying they didn't launch the investigation. The investigation proves that these people were, I guess, at wrongdoing, or they don't receive any justice. That's with Flint, Michigan, because the corruption runs so deep. She says she's disputing the police accounts of what happened to her son, who died early Saturday when the vehicle crashed head onto another car on Pearson Road, east of Martin Luther King Avenue in Flint. Shantika Davis was asleep in bed when all unfolded Saturday morning. She was relying on what she called a block of witnesses for details surrounding her son's death. I got a whole lot of block of witnesses, Shantika said. And those witnesses told me that her son was at a local nightclub Friday night when police were clearing out the lot. And according to the witnesses, Von Dries pulled out of the parking lot and several Flint police cars followed them. 3 police cars followed them, she said. The witnesses said they pulled him over and then let him go. Police ran his tags and everything and told him he was good and then let him go. Shantika said the witness told her that the police kept pursuing her son. What was the reason? So there's two different accounts, and I don't know, maybe because this is after Eric Mays, council member Mays, end up getting more information probably, and it's saying that they pulled them over. Eric Mays is saying that, oh, you pulled them over and you had your guns drawn, and he left the scene. And they're saying the people, the witnesses that she encountered, are saying that no, they pulled them over and they released them. So we don't know which one to believe, but at this point, she's never received justice. They never launched the investigation. I don't know if a lawyer is even trying to take up her case, but her statute of limitation is about to expire. Is about to expire. So I think I just wanted to shed light on that. Just about Flint. Flint is just as corrupt as any other town that people are suffering. The cops are dirty. They're doing dirty crap, and they try to get away with it. You even got fire departments that doing stuff that they're not supposed to be doing. They're not doing their actual job, and then they're getting away with it. And it's a town that they're protecting each other. So what do the residents do? Who can they turn to? It's, to me, it's really sad. It's a sad story. Anywho, you guys let me know what you think about that. Dave 71, thank you very much. The Warrior is, Flint is not going to change, nor any charges will be brought. Eric Mays died recently, and he was the only warrior, justice, and change in Flint. Yeah, I hear Eric Mays was a true supporter of the people. He was for the people. I never showed on any of his videos when he was alive, but he used to give some of the trustees the business, and he actually was kicked out the day he passed away. I think he was on suspension. He was still in suspension. I think he was like on a 60-day or 90-day suspension. So they didn't like him. They didn't like him because he always questioned their motives and what they're doing. Because you as a city council, your constituents, you're supposed to be speaking for the constituents. And they didn't like Eric Mays because he always called out that they were not for the constituents. Anywho, so the next story, you guys put in chat, let me know what you think. Stan, Ollie, aren't the firefighters trained to look everywhere? Yeah, and that's the problem, Stan. They are trained to look everywhere, but they lied and said, oh, nobody's in the house. And 7 minutes later, another fire truck came and said, no, it was kids in the house. They brought them out. A 12-year-old boy and an 8-year-old. And this is a segue into what I wanted to, not what I want to talk about, but something, because I have an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old, and we don't do it every year. Matter of fact, I'm going to do one this year during the summer since we have time. You guys, if you live in a 2-story home, even a 1-story home, you need to teach your kids about fire safety. What they should do to get out if a fire happens, because it happens. Don't say, oh, I live in a newer home, it won't never happen, or I just, I don't think my kids is not old enough. No, a 12-year-old boy, he's old enough. An 8-year-old is old enough, and they should know how to open up windows and escape a fire. It's real. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when I was a kid, I was about 5 years old and our house burned down to the ground. I almost literally died in a fire from smoke inhalation. I didn't get burnt or anything. But we were in a bungalow south side of Chicago, and our house literally was burnt on the inside. It was a brick home, so it didn't burn down completely, but it was literally burnt down to the ground. And only reason why we are still alive and my 3 other siblings is because the grace of God. And my mother, she's still alive. By the grace of God, she's still alive because we weren't fire safety trained. We could have been one of these kids. So fire safety is important. Okay. You guys, like I said, put in the chat. Let me know what you think about that. My next story, I do want to touch on your boy, Donald Trump. Donald Trump got convicted of 32 felonies. 32 or 34 felonies. He is a felony or a felon, a convicted felon. Would you still support Donald Trump since he's a convicted felon? It's amazing to me. You guys already know, if you follow my channel, I think it's a political stunt. How in the world would you get convicted of 34 of the same crime? We clearly know this was all a setup. It doesn't even make sense. Business, financial crime. We're going to convict you of all. People in New York really have a disdain for Donald Trump. The judge has a disdain for Donald Trump. We already know that. So am I surprised about this conviction? I'm kind of surprised because I thought justice will prevail, but then I'm not surprised. What is surprising to me that CNN and other news network is saying, yeah, convict Donald Trump, justice is served. But when they talk about other victims of the justice system, they're victims now. Now, which one is justice served? Is justice prevailing? Or are you a victim of the justice system? Are you guys getting what I'm getting at, where I'm getting at? Marilyn Mosley, just for example, she was convicted of one financial crime. She lied on her mortgage application. You got people all across the land talking about Marilyn Mosley overturned her conviction. This is racist, or is this is unjust because they're politically prosecuting her because she went after police. She was the first person to bring charges on the police because of this slain shooting of some, resident or a black kid. So she ended up charging the police officer with manslaughter or second-degree murder or something like that. But she was the first person to actually do that. And they're saying, oh, they're making an example out of her. Well, she got caught lying on her application and she used PPP money to buy a house. How's that unjust? Like I said, you can't throw stones at a glass. Well, you can't throw stones if you live in a glass house yourself. I can't be a federal prosecutor if I don't get all my ducks in a row. I can't be a prosecutor if I don't have all my ducks in a row. If I don't have a clean house, you know you was going to lie on that application. You know they don't like you. So you know they're going to pull up these applications. Oh, she lied on this application. She got a PPP loan or whatever she got. Or I think she got an economic injury disaster loan. She tried to use COVID funds to purchase this house. And she lied saying her husband didn't give her money, but he did give her the money or something like that. Whatever the case was, she lied. She admitted that she lied, but you guys want her to overturn her conviction because you're saying somehow the conviction is not fair. Well, when somebody else saying, oh, my conviction is not fair. No, it's fair. No, it's fair. Yours is fair, but mine's wasn't. What are you talking about? I thought the justice system wasn't. Is it fair or not fair? That's what I'm getting at. Is the justice system fair or not fair, you guys? You guys put in the chat. I know and we could talk about Joe Biden. Joe Biden put laws and stuff in place to trap black men. If you didn't know, hey, you could get a regular job and you were slanging dope and you got caught up, yeah, you get 50, 60 years. I know to this day, one individual, my girlfriend's dad, he is locked up for life. And part of the reason, he did some other stuff, but part of the reason is because he was slanging dope. They never overturned his conviction either. But what I'm getting at, is the justice system fair? We could say, oh, it's not fair for just black people. Well, is it fair for the rich people? Well, we said prior to Donald Trump getting convicted from this, we said, oh, he's going to get out because he's a rich white man. Well, I thought it favors him, right? So if it favors him, then why didn't it favor him? Why is he going to jail? And he said he's not afraid of going to jail. This is him saying, I'm okay with going to jail.
One of my lawyers the other day on television.
The judge could decide to say, hey, house arrest or even jail.
It
How
could.
do you face what that could be?
I'm okay with it. I saw one of my lawyers the other day on television saying, oh, no, you don't want to do that to the president. I said, you don't beg for anything. You just, the way it is.
The judge could decide to say.
So, and Donald Trump, he's not, I guess he's just facing the consequences. How much can you get? How much time can you get for falsifying 34 business records? They said up to 4 years for each crime. The judge could, if he wants to be, I guess, really unfair, the judge could say, hey, we're going to give you 4 years consecutively for each crime. And, that would be a huge mistake. That would be a huge mistake. I don't think it's going to go that far. I think, and maybe I'm wrong. I think he probably will get fined he won't get no jail time for this. But he'll probably get fined out the wazoo to break Donald Trump down. Of course, you got to attack his finances because literally he's not scared of jail. You see that he was like, okay, well, if that's written in my cards, that's written in my cards. The one post now, another thing, since he was convicted, Donald Trump, I'm not for sure if these numbers are true. He raised $200 million since his conviction. That was Thursday, right? $200 million. So you're going to get mad about that. I see a lot of posts on there. Oh, people are giving this rich white man money. How stupid can you be? It's like, okay, well, I support Donald Trump and I believe in his causes. I believe he's the right president. So I'm going to donate to his campaign. Who else have people elected as convicted felon? Remember Nelson Mandela? He spent years in prison. And he came out as the president. Remember that? Who else can we say that was convicted? I don't know if you guys follow Insurrection Barbie. She actually put a great post about convicted felons. And that, I guess that's one thing that I guess liberals are saying, oh, now you're going to vote for a convicted felon. But if you really think about it, most great leaders, they probably was politically persecuted. They went to some type of jail. The really ones that goes down in the history book that they talk about forever. Those are the ones that's been in jail before. And so I don't see there's a problem with it. But you know, some people like, oh my God, you voting for a convicted felon. Who cares? I'm just trying to find her post. She posts a lot. I ain't gonna never find it because this post was done on I think Sunday. I think this was a Sunday post. Anyway, so he raised $200 million. And I think Democrats are, really afraid that Donald Trump does have a serious chance of winning, and a conviction is not going to stop his bid at presidency. I think you have more people raising their eyebrows are like, okay, you could see unanimously falsifying business records, but 34 counts. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I could see if they said one or two falsifying, or maybe half of them. Oh, and then the other half is not guilty. So it's like a kangaroo court when you just say all of them, all or nothing. Come on now, it doesn't make any sense. And why do I need to falsify any business record for paying somebody off after they had a non-disclosure agreement? I just don't know. What am I hiding? What am I hiding in that instance? I just don't understand that. Anyway, on the lighter note, you guys put in the chat. Let me know what you think. I'm about to head out, but on the lighter note, before I head out, I need to share this with you.
Why are you gay? Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for
Good morning.
Me. Morning to you.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay. You are a transgender.
What shows that I'm gay?
You are a transgender, and you're a gay rights activist and an outspoken lesbian, homosexual. How can I describe you? Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for
Good morning.
Me. Morning to you.
Why are you gay?
Why are you gay? Okay?
You are gay.
Why are you gay?
Transgender.
You are a transgender? Why are you gay? I want to share that with you because it's Happy Pride Month. Okay? Happy Pride Month. What is strange about Pride Month? Usually when you say gay pride, and this was years ago, gay pride, they're all happy, like, oh, I'm gay, I'm happy, I'm free, I am gay. Excuse my voice. I'm gay, I'm with the gays, I'm with the gays, I'm with the gays. You think gay people are happy. That's what you think. These are people, happy people. They love to be free. They're real, about themselves. That's what I think. When I think about gay people, that's what I think about. I don't think about angry gay. And I think transgenders, they're given the whole community a bad rep because this is what is going on at the gay pride. Gay pride of all things, gay pride, they have these parades and stuff. Of all places, the beefing. The gays are beefing the other gays because they have different political agendas. The gays have different agendas. Okay, some agendas they believe in, stop the genocide with the Palestinians, and then other people are like, no, we're not a politically affiliated. We just want to be gay. And then you have gays that are Jewish and they believe Israel have a right to defend themselves, quote unquote. I don't call it defending themselves now. Right now, you're just killing innocent people. Anyway, but they're going against each other. what are they saying now? PPP? KKK? And look at all the gays that's like, I just came for a party. I don't want to protest. Ew. Now this is not nothing. This is like, okay, peaceful protests, blah, blah, blah. But you know, you got this sign, whatever. But then you had this crap. This is like really outrageous to me. This is at a gay. This is at a gay pride event. So the cop stepped in and tased him. It says a pride parade in Philly that went wrong. I thought y'all loved each other. Don't y'all supposed to be happy? What kind of, I'm about to say that would have been a bad joke. I was about to say, what kind of gay shit is this? That would have been a horrible joke. I said it anyway, but it's horrible. You guys scratch that from record. Scratch that from the record. But you know, they were, I guess, fighting each other. To me, it's really odd, because why would you fight each other and you guys are supposed to be happy? I don't understand what is going on here. Why are you guys so angry? These are the most angriest group of individuals, I think, right now. Angry individuals. But you know, it's Pride Month, so you'll be seeing a lot of Pride stuff probably in the stores. I think stores actually got away with it. I went in Target. Haven't seen not one Pride flag. So I think they've actually learned their lesson from last year. They're not going to go head first into this Pride stuff. They're just going to let individuals be who they are, which they have every right to be, but they're not going to make it a political agenda. Okay. So anyway, that was it for our live stream. We did about what, 2 hours? Yeah, about 2.5 hours, you guys. Okay, so make sure you guys go over to my other channel. If you're not viewing on my other channel, it's Chawanne 2.0. Chawanne Burns 2.0. And we're almost at 2,000 subscribers. So you guys, you know, go over there and subscribe to that channel. That's the channel that I will post political videos on, this particular channel. And this other channel, if you're viewing me on Chawanne Burns 2.0, you could view me on this other channel, which I am live daily, Monday through Friday. But when I post, it will be business type content. Matter of fact, I got a video that I just that's getting edited now, and we're talking about business failures, okay, to avoid business failures. So if you like business type content and how to boost your business credit, all that good stuff, personal and business credit and personal development, you want to subscribe to this channel. Okay. So I am sending all my good to you. I will talk to you tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in.